guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I test out a bunch of new drugstore makeup products that I have yet to try, and I create this really pretty rainbow looking eye look. And if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. Okay, so we're gonna start with eyebrows. So I got two new products. I'm gonna start out with the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Okay, so I pretty much always use a brow pencil, and so I'm pretty excited when I saw this because it retails for $2 and my favorite brow pencil is like $20. So I thought if this is a good alternative, it's easier to find, and it's cheaper, and I'm not sure if this shade is gonna match me because I've never used e.l.f. brow products before, so we're just gonna see what we can do with it. Sorry, I'm trying to open it and pretty difficult. Okay, I got it out, and it's actually very nice packaging to be $2. It comes with a spoolie, and it's very sleek and white packaging. Then it has the color right here, and then it has the name right here. So I'm always down to use a pencil that has a spoolie on the end. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It has a very fine tip to it, which is very nice, and I wasn't really expecting. So it looks like it might be a little dark. I'm not really a fan of darker brows. I have blonde brows, so I usually like to use like a taupe shade, but we're gonna see if we can work with this. So I'm basically just going to do what I normally do, which is kind of fill in and create hair-like strokes. Right off the bat, I can already tell I love this. It's like blending super easily, and it's giving me like just the right amount of product without being like too creamy, because sometimes brow pencils can be too creamy to the point where your brows almost look fake, and I'm into the more natural brows now, so like I don't really like that. It's giving me very like high-end brow pencil vibes. So I'm just gonna finish filling in this brow and do the other one real quick. Impressions, I really like this brow pencil. It does get dull really fast, but that's kind of expected because you're using the product. I'll definitely probably continue to repurchase this because I really enjoy it, and it's $2, so why not? And the spoolie is really nice. It's not too rough. So I would usually leave my brows at this, but I have another product to show you guys. So I got the e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream. I got this in the shade light brown, and I believe this retailed for $4. Okay, so I'm just going to use an angled brush. I think this brush is from Anastasia, and this is actually a really nice jar, a really nice size. It comes with a lot. It says you can use this as a liner. They have different colors. So I'm gonna kind of use this as a pomade. I don't usually use pomades, but today I just thought I'd kind of try something new because I've heard really good things about this. So I'm just gonna like dip into it, and right off the bat it's super creamy because, like, you guys can tell I kind of like made the little swatch. So I'm just gonna like use a little bit and then just kind of focus it on the ends of my brows, because the ends of my brows are where my hair is most sparse and where I kind of want to define my brow the most. And then I'm going to use this spoolie to blend it out. So right off the bat it's pretty pigmented actually, and I'm noticing that it's matching my brows really well. And also the brow pencil was actually a really good match for me. So if you're into pomades, you'll like this, I think. It's very creamy, and it's definitely very opaque. It's giving me lots of color, but if you guys can tell, obviously also I'm going to clean up my brows in a minute, but so they're not so harsh. The only thing that I'm noticing that I don't really like is that when I use a spoolie with it, it's kind of like messy. It's getting up on my forehead, so, but that can always be cleaned up and fixed, so I don't really mind. I'm not really going to drag this pomade like into the front of my brow, just the bottom front to define, but I'm not going to drag it into the front because I want my front to kind of fade to the dark. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other brow, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so off camera I went ahead and finished my eyebrows. I cleaned them up using concealer, and then I went ahead and primed my eyelids. I really liked the brow pomade. My brows are a little bit darker, but I think it's okay because we're doing a really glam look today, so it's fine. But stay tuned to the end of the video and I will kind of give a review of just all the products in general. So I'm really excited for this. This is the eyeshadow. So I saw this palette at Ulta and I was immediately hooked. This is the Maddie Zieglar Imagination palette. This palette is beautiful and it's in collaboration with Morphe and it retails for $25. So I'm mainly going to be using this palette today, but I also picked up another palette at Target. This is the Makeup Obsession Sweet Like palette, and this is a beautiful palette, and it's really affordable. It was like $10, and it comes with such beautiful cherry and red and shimmery shades. So I'm gonna mainly dip into this one, but I'll probably use both kind of in conjunction. So let's get started. First of all, the packaging on this palette is beautiful. And then this is kind of what the palette looks like. It comes with a huge mirror, which I'm obsessed with. And then this Makeup Obsession one, I've never heard of this brand, but this one also comes with a mirror, and this is kind of what this one looks like. So I'm going to first dip into the Maddie Zieglar palette, and I'm going to dip into the shade Maddie Girl, which is this one. And I'm just going to apply this kind of like as an all-over crease shade. It's like a peachy pink, and I'm just going to apply this kind of all over the crease, kind of as like a base, nothing really much. Just to kind of set the concealer that I put on my lid. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the shade She Insists, which is this really bright purple shade. And I'm going to take my Wet n Wild brush and literally I'm just going to kind of pack it on to the inner part of my eye. This palette already I can tell is very pigmented, so I'm excited to kind of play around with the color today. But I'm going to pack this into the inner part of my eye, so like just right in here and kind of just on the inner part because I have an idea and I want to play with a few other colors. So okay, so right off the bat there is some fallout with this palette, but I don't mind it. Like I always do if I'm doing colorful eyeshadow, I do my colorful eyeshadow first so that I can clean up my face before I apply face makeup. So that's kind of what we're going with right now, just a subtle pop of pink and purple. And now I'm going to go in with the Sweet Like palette, and I'm going to go in with this Cerise, I think that's how you pronounce it, this pink shade. And I'm gonna just put a little of this. I don't know if this is gonna be pigmented or not. I've never heard of this brand again, so I don't really know, but they have a lot of stuff that if I like it, I will purchase more. Okay, so I'm not getting a lot from this palette just yet. Okay, so that's not very pigmented. So I'm gonna try to use a different brush. I'm gonna try to use the same brush for the purple and just use the flip side of it because I know it's hard to kind of make color, but this is not showing up like at all. Yeah, not really liking that. You really have to pack this shade exactly. I don't know if it's just this shade or if it's the whole palette, but you like it looks very vibrant on the brush, but then you put it on your eye and it's just like not really there. Like there, it's kind of there right now, but you really just have to work with it. So okay, so this is kind of how we're looking. The pink isn't as pigmented as I would like in this palette, but that's okay. I mean, I don't mind working with it because like I said, shades like that are kind of hard to create. So I'm gonna go in with a different brush. I'm gonna go in with this eye smudging brush, but I'm just going to go in with this mint shade right here, and I'm going to kind of fan it out in here because I've been wanting to play with this. So again, off the bat, this color looks so pigmented. So I'm kind of just like applying it to the outer corner. I know it looks crazy right now, but I'm gonna blend it and it'll hopefully all come together. So the Maddie Zieglar palette is a lot more blendable and a lot faster to build up. It kind of starts out as that really like light color, but as you can see, it's building up super fast. So I would definitely probably recommend this palette over the Makeup Obsession one, but I haven't used all the colors yet, so I'm not gonna give up on it yet. And now I'm just going to blend the crease kind of together. And I'm also gonna go in with that same Maddie Girl shade and blend at the top. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this blue shade right here. It's the shade 5. And I'm going to kind of build it up and kind of wing it out a little. We'll kind of see what we can achieve with this palette. Definitely, so far, I'm loving it. It's just a little bit sheerer than I would like. Also, I know it looks crazy, but in just a minute, once we put liner on, it's gonna kind of come together. So also, I'm gonna kind of fan it out kind of messy like this, then I'm gonna cut it with some concealer and it's going to look really sharp and clean. So okay, so just put liner on. I used the Essence Super Precise eyeliner. I've used this before and I really like it, so it's really cheap. I just did a really thick wing, and I also cleaned up the bottom of the eyes again, and I used the sparkly pink shade in the center, and then I used the shade Crush, which is like an orange, to kind of blend everything together. And I really like how it turned out so far. So I am now going to move on to the face. So I got 2 types of primers today. So I got the e.l.f. Puff Puff primer. This primer is meant to nourish and hydrate, and it retails for $8. Okay, so the packaging is super sleek and white. So I'm just going to kind of pump some into my hands. So right off the bat, it has no smell, and it's almost like a moisturizer. So okay, so it feels like a moisturizer. It feels like a very light moisturizer, but it also feels very smoothing. I'm typically not a fan of moisturizing primers like this, ones that feel like moisturizer, but this one is giving me like very, like, it's almost making my skin just feel like very hydrated and almost like smoothed over. So we'll see if I like it under my foundation. But then I also picked up the Essence Prime Studio Glow Boosting and Pore Minimizing Primer as well. This primer is made with pink clay, and it retailed for $2 while it was on sale. Okay, so this primer was, like I said, it was on sale. So I'm just going to use about this much. It's coming out like pink. It's made with pink clay. It's also coming out like a lot, and it has like an iridescence, but it doesn't look like it has any shimmer to it. So I'm going to apply this to my problem pore areas, my chin, and like my T-zone. And it smells really good. It kind of smells like fancy skincare almost, which smells really nice. Like, it's not like a heavy fragrance. Okay. So I definitely see how it's glowing, because like on my hands, I see them like reflecting like light. Like, it's very weird because it has no glitter in it. But I don't really know if it did anything for my pores, but we'll see. So then I picked up the new Wet n Wild, well, this isn't new, but it's new for me, the Wet n Wild makeup sponge. I heard really good things about this, and I'm super excited because you guys know I love my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, which is $5. This was $3, so we'll see if I like this one. It's hot pink, so I have to love it. But right off the bat, it's super, super bouncy. So I'm gonna get this wet really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just wet it, and it got super big. It's super bouncy, and it's like really soft, so probably gonna like this. But then for foundation, I picked up the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation, and this I think I found at Walmart. Okay, so I don't know if the shade is gonna match me, but we'll see. I'm just gonna apply it on the back of the sponge. I am self-tanned right now, so this might not match me because it looks a little pale, but we can always bronze up, so let's see. Also, yeah, it's actually, it matches my skin, but I typically like to go a shade darker with my foundation because I'm always self-tanned, so I like it to match my neck, but I can just bronze up, so I really don't mind a lighter foundation. Also, that primer is like making my skin just feel super hydrated. And this is supposed to be a full coverage foundation, so we'll see if... I have a lot of acne right now, so we're gonna see if it kind of covers well. Okay, so I'm really liking the way it's sitting on my skin. It could be the primer, but I love this sponge. It's probably gonna be one of my new favorites. And I'm not gonna do 2 layers of foundation because I'm going to go in with concealer. But I'm liking the way it's sitting on my skin. I typically don't go for full coverage, but I probably could have also shaded up, but that's fine. So now I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 20. I've had this concealer for a while, and I typically use it to like carve out my eyebrows, but okay, actually it's gonna be too dark for this foundation, so I'm gonna go in with my tried and true e.l.f. camo, and I'm gonna apply the camo concealer under my eyes like that. And then I am gonna go in with this Juvia's Place, but I'm just gonna use it kind of on the bottom of my... If I do like this foundation, I will probably repurchase it just in a darker shade, because I typically don't really gravitate for the lighter foundations that I have in my collection because they don't match me as well. But like I said, I can always bronze up, and once it you use like blush and bronzer, it kind of all comes together. Okay, so typically I use the Wet n Wild Loose Translucent Powder, but I picked up a new one. Picked up the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I picked it up in the shade Light, and this retails for around $8. Okay, so it looks like you just kind of like twist, and then you dump it into the cap. I've heard really good things about this on YouTube. I hope it doesn't have any glitter in it. I don't think it does, but it's supposed to kind of give you... Okay, a lot is not even coming out. Like, I'm hitting it and a lot is not coming out, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna use the like flat side of this sponge and do like that, and I'm going to just like pack it under the eyes. And also I got the shade Light. They have like 4 shades I think of this. Oh, a big chunk of it just fell into my drawer. Okay, well, also I'm loving this sponge. It's so soft. It's almost softer than the e.l.f. one, but they're both like equally good. Okay, so let's see. Right off the bat, I'm not really seeing any glitter, so that's good. Because when you see like the word glow, I always thought like maybe it had glitter. I feel like I'm not gonna like this powder for all over my face because it's taking like a ton just to get it out. So I'm just gonna use it on the places that I put my under eye concealer, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a different powder because I don't want to have to like keep tapping it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder and put this all over my face. Okay, so right off the bat, the powder under my eyes is feeling a little dry, but once I set it with setting spray, it should be okay. And I don't have a new bronzer. I'm just gonna use my butter bronzer, and I will be right back. Okay, so I did pick up a new blush. I picked up the Essence, the blush in the shade 40 Beloved. This is on sale for $2, and it's really beautiful. So I'm just going to apply this to my cheeks. I'm always on the lookout for a new blush. I love blush, and this one is absolutely beautiful. If you're heavy-handed with blush like me, this is gonna be your type of blush, because I just use like so much and it's giving me that beautiful look that I like without being like, whew, she's wearing like too much blush, because I love blush. So I'll continue to apply it the way I like it, but this is a very buildable blush. I'm actually really loving it. Wow, okay, I love it. And this shade is perfect for me. It's kind of like a mauvey pink. So I'm just going to now use my, I didn't get a new highlighter, so I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. I've already hit pan on this. I love it. And I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks and anywhere else I want highlighted. Also, you guys already know I love a blinding highlight, so I do a lot, but this highlight is so beautiful. You don't need a lot, so if you're not into that really, you know, blinding look, you can definitely work with this one. Okay, so I just set my face using my normal stuff that I always use, the e.l.f. Glow Dewy Mist and the Morphe setting spray. So I'm gonna go back to the eyes, and I'm going to go under my eyes like I normally do. I love adding color into my eyes. Just kind of brings the look together in my opinion. So I'm gonna use the blue shade and put it on the outer part. And then I'm gonna like do the same thing I did with my eyes. So blue on the outer, and then we're gonna do a little bit of teal, and then the purple on the inner part. Okay, so I went ahead and applied mascara. I'll leave all the details down in the description box. But now I'm going to be using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. I also just picked this up, and this is like, I want to say $4, and I'm just going to apply it on my waterline, which actually I'm going to use my sponge. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to do my lips. I only have one new lip product, so I'm going to be using my Rimmel Lasting Finish lip liner, and I'm just going to line my lips with this, and I will be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. I don't really know what this is, like a day and a night lipstick, and this is old, but I'm just going to use the day one. It's in the shade Need It Nudes, and it's this light nude shade. I'm just going to apply that to the center of my lips. This lipstick smells like candy. Okay, so lastly, I just went in with the e.l.f. Lip Lacquer in the shade Bubbles. This retails for I think $6, and I was really intrigued by it because it's a clear gloss, but it has tons of little glitters in it, and I really like it. It's not sticky. It's also not chunky. Like the glitter isn't chunky, so I really like this as a lip topper. And they also have tons of different shades in this. Okay guys, here is the finished product. I love the eyes. I think they turned out really, really good. I always love watching the process of eyeshadow because I feel like it can look messy at first, but once you get all your face on and you get your liner, everything all comes together and it looks beautiful, and I'm loving the lips. So I loved all the products I tried today. Honestly, the only one I can say that I really didn't like as much was the Makeup Obsession palette, but I will continue to use it and use the other shades in it, but everything else turned out really good, and I'm obsessing over this eye look. Also love the white eyeliner, and the lip combo is beautiful, and it matches well with the eyes because the eyes are so bright. So if you guys want any details, make sure to check the description box, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.